Good morning, everybody. We're an online accounting product that's tightly integrated with banking software. So this is the Xero dashboard. Cool. That looks much nicer. I hope you agree. So the difference with Xero is that we've actually got live bank feeds coming through to our product. So rather than going to your online bank first thing in the morning and then having to come back sometime later and process the data, we have over 2,000 US bank feeds that come in now. Over the next year, we'll add another 5,000 bank feeds. So inside the Xero UI, you'll see this banking information. And this is the first real business process change for small businesses for the last 15 years. So when you come into Xero, all of your bank transactions are automatically loaded on the left-hand side of the screen. And what you're trying to do is either match them to existing transactions in the accounting software or create new transactions at this point. So somebody's paid their bill, click, reconcile, done, gone. So we're adding a little bit of gaming thing here, whereas we find that our customers get pleasure from clearing their transactions and they know that they're completely up to date. Also want to quickly show you some other features we're doing. This is called fast cash coding. And this was really interesting in the Christchurch earthquake. So we can take the last year's worth of financial data, quickly load it into Xero, just using an OFX file upload, and then very quickly reprocess an entire set of books. So for example, here's some parking charges. I can just put those in and code them through. And we've done a lot of work for super fast keystroke handling. The Xero world record is 14,000 transactions in 6 hours. So we can take somebody who has no books at all and almost get financial statements out within about an hour. Xero is a full accounting software, full accounting software system. So we have accounts receivable and accounts payable. As you'd expect, all the nice kind of invoicing functionality is there. There's an iPhone version of the application. When you're on the road, you can see who owes you money. I just wanted to show you we've done a lot of interesting work around the workflows that happen just afterwards. So we find people spend a lot of time chasing those bills. So we built some nice little tools here. You know, phone numbers are all ready to go. You can ring people up. They're paying next week. So we'll add 7 days onto that. So we're starting to build out a much better view of the customer's forward cash flows, just getting better and better information all the time. As well as accounts are receivable, we have accounts payable, so we can load in our invoices through the same sort of UI, and then we can start to batch those payments together. So once we stage an accounts payable invoice through the process and it's all ready to be paid, then the financial controller can actually start setting that sort of cash flow information up. So I'm going to take these 4 items here, and we're going to plan to pay those on the 20th. That's quickly created a payment batch. So then you get through the 20th and you have a look down. You don't quite have enough money yet because someone hasn't paid their bill. We can just nudge that payment out a couple of days. That's created another payment batch. So we've just done some really interesting things that actually match the process that people go through. And then once we're ready, we can create a batch file. This creates a standard ABA file, which in most countries we can then put that into your business banking software and make the payment. And we're just working with a number of US providers to have the full bill payment process done here as well. Next thing I wanted to quickly show you is what we're doing on the contact side of things. Where cloud accounting is different from installed software is that it's kind of nuts when you're on the cloud that everyone has the different contact records. And the problem that we're finding is there isn't yet a single business number for all small businesses. So what we're doing instead by proxy is using address information to start to uniquely identify those businesses. And of course this gets really powerful once you start having the graph of who is transacting with who. So for example, taking a New Zealand example, I can go and look for a PO box number. And 45537, and we've actually gone through and found that PO box number. So what we've done is we've connected to some web services that give us the unique set of all the post office box addresses, And I can even put in our physical address here as well. So that's found us, and it brings through all of that information. So what's happening now is we're actually starting to identify who are the businesses inside our system, and of course on the cloud application, this starts to get incredibly powerful. So by doing all of the kind of normal tasks and activities around running your small business, we can then, it's very easy to pull that information out. And we have this great report which is kind of changing the industry down in New Zealand and Australia at the moment. So this is something which the accountant now, without having to send data around, can quickly log into the business. They can build these beautiful multi-page report packs. So here's the age receivables report. They can put in a little bit of commentary, which gets stored with the data. So I'll save that. And then what we can do is export that whole report pack out in a bunch of different formats to Google Docs, or I'll just print this one out as a PDF as an example. And within a few minutes, we've got a full picture of the business. So what's really exciting that is we're seeing some really interesting changes in the accounting industry. And we've done quite a lot of work around bringing accountants online. So if I flip down to the New Zealand page, we now have over half of the accountants in the country using Xero. If I go to Auckland Central, we'll see there's 7 pages of accountants there. And what we've been doing is actually getting more and more of their information online. So all of our accountants now put their LinkedIn profiles, and this is a great way for them to build their brand, and for small business customers to find somebody that they want to work with. And we've quite literally put our accountants on the map. And this has been really interesting because they start to see the value of profiling themselves online. And then we're also seeing as accountants now building really beautiful websites. And what's very cool now is they're actually starting to price their products monthly. Thank you very much.